Morning, Heritage Group family. This is G. We're over here on a special occasion today at Joe's Man Cave. We're tucked away in the middle of the woods. He's got an awesome location over here featuring some 80s boxcar designs and some 70s furniture and art. He's got an awesome layout in here. Let's go in and see what he's got to say.
So I was working for a film studio for 10 years. That's Disney, Warner Bros. And Paramount Studios. And from there, I always want to continue my passion. So as much as I deny it, it's within me. So that's after I so-called worked for a film studio, made a little bit of money, then I start buying cars I love. I think that with the design background, I was never particular or specific on brand. I'm not a big brand buyer. However, I'm a big follower of a great young talented designer like Gandhini and Zagato. So I'm naturally leaning towards that style of cars. And I just find that quite interesting because I see a lot of Maseratis, Ferraris, or Lamborghini, although they're completely different so-called engine size, so-called shape, but there are personality from the designer that carry through from each brand. And I found that intriguing and I find that interesting for me. My first car when I was 16 was a Lancia Beta. So I worked during the summer, and my mom actually made me an offer I couldn't refuse, which is that whatever I make, she would double the money. And I had $3,100, and I was looking around. The only car that intrigued me at that time, it was a Lancia Beta. And it has an unusual double front light. It's a lower stand. Not really knowing about design, I was immediately attracted to that car. I wasn't attracted to it mechanically, but I was attracted by the shape and the design of the car. And that's my first car. And then my first collector's car, it was a Ferrari 512 Boxer, and that's my first Ferrari. And I bought it in 1990s. And these were considered, lower unwanted car, and it was a mid-engine V12. But what I love about it is it has these kind of 70s present, and the car has a lot of unusual requests. And these are the requests of, why do you have all these grooves on the side? It makes it really hard to clean, but it just looks so attractive to me. And just keep in mind, like many other collectors and young beginning collectors, we all have model kits, and this is one of the model kits I built, and I love every single detail of it. So that was my first car. And then my first intrigue on a sports car was a Lotus Esprit in James Bond movie. And I thought, this was when I was 8, and I thought that car can literally go underwater. And I couldn't wait to own one, and knowingly that it won't go underwater. But in person, this car sits much lower, but with its quite interesting 1970s early wedge design. It's an attraction to me, kind of reflecting what I like. And I think at the end of the day, I always buy what I like. It's not about the market. It's not about whether or not if they would appreciate or depreciate. It was always buying what I like. That's important to me. And I can I can sit down, have a cup of coffee, look at the car, and I'm happy. It doesn't take much, but I'm happy. I'm not chasing other people's dream, and a car is a very personal thing. And you like cars, you have a particular understanding what you like. I would go with that. I would always go with what I like. And chasing, again, it's a personal thing. So I'm not here to chase other people's dream. I'm here to chase my dream. And I think that's much more fulfilling and rewarding. And just being with the car and seeing the car in person and share it with my friends and telling these stories makes me happy. I think love for cars and love for building, I did not intentionally tie them together, but coming from industrial design background, I'm attracted to things that are period correct. So I would take my Avante to our mid-century home, and then I would so-called use them together. In other words, period correct. So I would like to have period correct lights, period correct furnitures, and period correct cars, and period correct homes. And that allowed me to kind of tie in these so-called concept of cars and real estate. And also, I feel a lot of homes already has a lot of heritage. So very often, rather than taking all these heritage away, I always trying to bring them back. For instance, if this is a old movie theater project, then we will reconvert them, but we'll keep the theme of the old movie theater. If this is a old, let's say, old motel, and we're converting them, we will keep it as a mid-century, because that's when it's built, 1958, let's say. We'll keep the theme of 1958. We won't convert into a 2020 style home. And that kind of respect for the property allow property to live again. And that's what I like about real estate, design, and cars. I think the cars, I would respectfully do the same thing. If I restore a car, I wouldn't want to put a brand new, again, don't write me hate mail on this. I wouldn't put a brand new engine. I typically just restore the original engine, matching engine. I would take the original color and I would study what was the factory original color. I would bring the car back to factory. So it's more of a respect for what I have and what I own. It's to let it keep it original and let it live again. I guess that's what I would like to do. For me, when I bought the coupe first because the coupe was built in 1991, and I think it's about 1,000 made. But I really like the shape. It really identifies Alfa Romeo, but just the back end, it looks like the back is a hatchback, but really it doesn't even open. And the body till today is still iconic to me. And later I bought the Roadster, which is 1993. I think it's about 240 were made, and the car came from Japan. What I found really interesting about the Roadster is the playfulness of the car. And just when you're sitting there, I'm sitting so high. And also the front hood is quite heavy. It's solid fiberglass. And so I was quite surprised, would the weight be in a consideration? it's nice to have two red cars. So they only made red. So the option 1 and option 2 exactly the same. That being said, when I take it to Cars and Coffee, everybody else is like, what is that?